Welcome to the virtual lunch. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, and this is virtual lunch 113. Congratulations on
Thank you very much.
your success and the combination with Reveal.
I started in the industry a long time ago, and I was just working at a small scanning shop here in Chicago, and this is around 97, 98. And at the time, right around 2000, our little scanning shop got all this paper coming in, and it was these things called emails that someone had printed out to paper, and then we were scanning it. I said, well, that's kind of crazy. So I quit my job and I started a company to take digital format emails and stick them into digital platforms like Summation and Concordance. And then in 2003, we sold that company. I worked in the Big Four for a little bit. Then I worked at Kcura, now known as Relativity, for a while. And during this time, I just saw this explosion of exponential growth of data, exponential growth of review strategies at the time. So we started NexLP in 2013. When I was at Relativity, one of the key things I kept hearing from case teams over and over again was like, hey, we've reviewed millions of documents, but we still don't know what's really in the data. We still don't know where all the stories are. It took us forever. We had distributed teams. The contract reviewers know what's going on, but maybe I don't know what's going on. And so I really felt that time that the state of the art in artificial intelligence could help solve that problem. And that if I could get the senior case team members to understand what was inside the data much quicker, that could hopefully lead to a much better business outcome for everybody. And so that's what we did. I started the company, but you need good people. You need key teammates. And every company I've started, I've always had partners in it because I don't really believe in solo acts. I don't. It really takes a team. So my co-founder was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Dan Roth, Kit Mackey, who became my CTO. Also, my long-term colleague, Wai Chen. I always believed in that. And our focus at NexLP was really on artificial intelligence. And so my specific role as CEO was to do everything from wash all the bottles, make the coffee, to evangelize the technology. Really listening to clients of what problems they have and how we can take cool technology to solve real problems. One of the most selfish things you can do is actually start your own company in some capacity because it's like a baby. You have to feed it and care for it, and it's all consuming. And so it's a very selfish endeavor. You have to really let your family know, hey, I'm not going to be available for a while, and it's for the greater good. So a couple things. First off, you got to have a network of people that you could talk to and be friends with so that when you have this idea that's percolating, I can go and talk to the Mikes of this world and Jim and say, hey, what do you think about this? Get a feel for if there's something there. And you got to just really have commitment and faith and ready to run through walls. You really got to believe even when it's darkest in that. And you can't do any business. You can't make new friends. You can't make new connections by sitting in your hotel room. You have to go out there. You have to have that courage to say, hey, I'm Jay, and I have a new company, NexLP. What do you do? And listen to them. And then hopefully they'll have the respect to listen to you. Now, it sounds weird because I haven't traveled in the last 6 months, but what I would do is whenever I travel to a city, I would reach out to my network on LinkedIn and say, hey, can we grab a cup of coffee? And I always have my laptop and I'm always pitching. I'm always showing and demoing what I have. And when you really believe in what you're doing, I believe my software, NexLP, and now my software Reveal, that we are truly helping people. And so it's not selling at that point. I really believe that I'm going to help you. If I show you this thing, if you buy my software, if you work with me, I am truly helping you because I really believe in it that much. Then you're never selling. Now we're just talking to friends and I'm helping friends at all times. Things that I did, I tried touching base with every one of my customers or clients just to reach out, say, how are they doing? Turn on our video. We want this human-to-human connection in some way, right? So every Zoom call I do, I turn on the video, even if I'm wearing sweats and a t-shirt and not looking my best, because you still want that connection. You're just saying, hey, want to catch up for a couple of minutes. Then number two is like this, there's different legal technology groups out there that have been meeting virtually in various areas. And so a variety of groups had invited me or I invited them and brought a friend. If I was invited to one, I'd bring a friend with me and we'd join that. Everyone here should bring a friend to the next Ari Kaplan event. When you're small, appear big, right? And so I've been in the fortunate position to have some very, very large clients. And so the way that I try and be out there everywhere is I would tag on to what my clients are doing. So I have large law firm clients, large service provider clients, large corporate clients. So the things that they were doing, I would be a guest speaker, a featured speaker, demoer, and try and tag onto everything they do. It's kind of my version of guerrilla marketing. I would also look for cost-effective partners to sponsor. It's one of the coolest experiences I've ever done is go ahead and receive my MBA. Now, for those of you who may be considering it, can you cost justify it? It's an expensive proposition. It's another very selfish endeavor. You just have to look to see if it's right for you. The best thing about sales from an entrepreneurial standpoint is that you learn how to take rejection. It's a skill to be able to take that and pick yourself up and move on, learning the hard knocks that way. The early phase of every company, for the most part, is the bootstrapping exercise, right? You got to go and bring in some cash flow at the beginning. So this last company that I was involved with, NexLP, I went out and did everything I can to take money in to fund it into development of the technology. I raised venture capital. We raised close to $8 million. Now I'm part of a group that's with private equity. But the thing is that a lot of folks that have great ideas on technology or other startups, et cetera, they go, oh, I'm going to start this up and I'm going to go and raise money tomorrow. And usually there's a time gap between raising money and starting the company. And it could be 3 months, it could be 3 years. So during that time, you have to go out and bring money in if you're going to support the company, much less support yourself. If you're a consultant or in traditional sales or a lawyer, you have to be doing business development at all times. You have to be talking to people. When I was a consultant, hopefully Ann doesn't have this experience I did, which is the rainmaker's dilemma, where I go ahead and I would land a large job, then I'd be working so hard on that job, I wouldn't be out in the marketplace. And so that job's over, and now all of a sudden I don't have any prospects. I've been out. And that's a very, very hard balance. There's always times where the phone doesn't ring. And it's usually Murphy's Law. It's when you're in your house and you're doing projects, procrastinating on stuff. The phone never rings, no email comes in, nothing exciting. It's only when you get out there and you're talking with clients, that's when the phone rings, the emails come in, and all sorts of things happen. So the dark days are when you go through stretches where you get rejected and you can't get your appointment. And it's like going through a hitting slump and you're like, man, am I doing the right way? Am I talking about the right way? What does this other group have that I don't have? You go through these waves, and then all it takes is one great phone call, one great meeting that says, aha, I am on the right path again. I've always had some kind of partnership with a group because for a group to buy your company, you have to prove out value. They're not buying you just because it's cool or fun. They want to monetize or make some money off it in some way. So the best way to do that is to already have a relationship. You're already proving out that what you have is valuable enough. The point is that this acquisition and some of my other companies, it was always a partnership group. I was already involved with them in some way. I didn't get like an email out of the blue saying, hey, would you consider this? So, right now with 2020, there's a lot of very talented people from sales to consulting to technology to programming. They're in different states of employment because of the pandemic. It would be a very interesting time to start a company, no matter what the company is, because you would have more access to talent. Talent is what makes a company. And so I would say the number one thing that I made the mistake of is sometimes you think you know what the value proposition is to your customer. Like Ann might think her value proposition is X, but in fact, they see it a different way. So the number one thing is listening to customers and evolving what you think is that value proposition. I'm going to save them money, and it may be that money's not what they care about. It's really time. So you have to be able to pivot and really listen to what they're looking for. And there may be different value propositions to different audiences too, which is understanding your audience. Doing a little bit of homework before you talk to people is always great. Talking to partners, venture capitalists, et cetera, looking them up, looking at articles, you might get a sense, and so you can communicate much better. But value proposition is something that's squishy. It's not like we're splitting the atom. It means different things to different people, and you just got to get that just in the sweet spot so that you could talk to the broadest amount of audience as possible. I mean, the number one thing is, it sounds silly. I mean, a business is a marriage. You got to actually kind of enjoy being around that person because you're going to be making a lot of important decisions over the time. So that to me trumps over, do they fill in the gaps? Do they do different things? Do they know the roles? And so no, I'm really excited. Reveal has a lot of momentum. Reveal is a extremely strong e-discovery platform that goes end to end from processing to review to AI to production. It's a growing team. We have a lot of resources behind us with private equity, with Gallant Capital. So a lot of great things that we're able to do together. I feel like at Reveal, I'm at that mountaintop. I feel like I can look out at the vista and kind of enjoy, and maybe there's another plateau I can help Reveal get to, and that'll be very exciting. But I'm going to stay here for a little bit and help this team enjoy a little bit.
Jay Leib, everybody.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you.
done.